Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video I wanted to talk about an equipment guide and how you should be crafting new equipment, and also the fact that they've now added in the recent patch version 1.2.2 a way of earning many more forging stones of the higher tiers through completing the various growth quests. This is really useful because we were really limited on these like forging stone 5s, and so we hardly could even craft any of the mythic equipment. But now we, as you can tell, I have 600 and we're gonna get 360 more when we claim the rewards for this crest. So now you have a lot more of the crafting materials to spare, but still I want to give my recommendation on how I go about leveling up the equipment. So first of all, you will be able to unlock and forge a higher level of equipment, or craft a higher level of equipment, when you reach your average season residence level to higher. For example, if your average season residence level is anywhere between 740 and 749, you're going to only be able to craft at most level 740, as you can see here, equipment. But as soon as your average level becomes 750, you unlock the next tier and you can craft level 750 equipment. So the best strategy, for example, for me today, if we look at my heroes, I've used my instant AFK attempts, I've used my daily quests, but by the end of today, I will probably reach 750 average residence level on the team. And then if I wait until then, and then I craft all equipment up to level 750, it will be more efficient to do that. However, you have to weigh like the pros and cons. The cons of doing that is then you don't get power immediately. And for example, if I, crafted everything to 740 level, it might help me push a few more AFK stages and earn more AFK rewards. And in the long run, it's actually better for you. So both decisions are fine. It's really up to you. Do you want to push harder in AFK stages? Do you think these upgrades are going to help you? Then go for them. And I will give you an always safe sort of rule of thumb which I use, which is that if your equipment level is 20 levels, or sometimes if you want to be really safe, 30 levels below your crafting level or your forging level, then you are safe to craft them. For example, I have these level 720 equipments. Crafting 740 is a 20 level boost. I feel like it's a pretty safe thing, and that's kind of what I do. But I don't, for example, each time I hit the next threshold, like now we're at 740, I'll even upgrade all of my 730s. You can't upgrade and craft every single piece of equipment. You're gonna end up running out of resources. They haven't given you enough to like do that. So you still have to be a little bit careful, but I think a safe rule of thumb is if, for example, your equipment level is 20 below, like here, you can craft it pretty safely, but leave the ones which are only 10 below until you reach the next threshold, and then upgrade those. And that's a pretty good strategy. The maximum level for equipment this season is going to be level 800, so that's another thing to keep in mind. So ideally, once you reach level 800 average level, you should have enough forging stones to just complete your entire set up to 800. Now the other thing to focus on is which ones to upgrade, because all classes are not equal, and we also have to think about where is this equipment being used. So this equipment is being used everywhere in seasonal content. However, for Dream Realm and for Supreme Arena, you're going to be capped at whatever that level cap is. If you're above that level cap, and if your equipment level is above that level cap, then it will not make any difference for you crafting higher tier equipment, because both your actual hero level and your equipment level will be scaled down to whatever that cap is. So that's one thing. So for example, for me in Dream Realm, it doesn't matter what I craft. So because I'm already kind of way above the level cap on everything, so you don't just think like, oh, my OD will hit hard in Dream Realm if I craft this. It will be the case if you're below the level cap and if your equipment is below the level cap, then that's a good strategy. But if you're above it, then there's no reason to do that. So really, this equipment is being used for the Primal Lord, where there's no level cap, for AFK stages where there's no level cap, Legend Trials, things like that. So you need to think about which heroes are using there. So usually Warriors I always leave until the end, because for AFK stages, Warriors are the least used class. You use mages a lot, Arden and Carolina in the Iron Nuke team. Supports, of course, you're going to be using a lot as well, and tanks you're going to be using. Although maybe their equipment is not, like Freyasto earlier on, like the tankiness is really important for him, but in the later AFK stages, the tanks usually survive without much of an issue. Marksman is hardly really used for AFK stages, so this is to upgrade if you're below the level cap in Dream Realm. Otherwise, I would probably recommend not upgrading marksman, to be honest. And then rogue is only really Iron who you use for AFK stages. Sometimes Lily May, but very rarely. And so that's kind of the thing you have to think about. So my most used class is mages, and then you also look about which equipment you want to craft if you're more limited. So the weapon, for any damage dealer hero, the weapon is the most valuable. It gives you attack and it gives you crit percent, so we'll just upgrade that right here. Definitely there are other pieces of equipment here which are valuable. For example, especially this third piece of equipment, which is kind of like an accessory item. This has a lot of attack and damage. It has attack, crit, attack speed. So like really what I consider is maybe the first and third ones, and then the boots as well, which provide you crit percent. These are the ones for the damage oriented classes which give you the most. The other things, this one, which is the chest piece, this is the most valuable for tankiness, and this can be good for any class, but really this is the one you want to go for on your tanks, maybe even on your supports for more survivability. Like if we look at the tank upgrade here, a lot of HP, a lot of defenses is going to help you survive better. So this is a key upgrade for the tanks. Like this is probably the tank's favorite weapon slot, equipment slot, and for the damage dealers, like I said, is number 1, 3, and the boots. The hat, as well as the other accessory like number 2 and number 4 slots, these also provide some attack. They provide a bit of tankiness, but really from what I've seen is number 1 and 3 provide the most damage upgrades, and also the boots, and the other 3 provide a combo, or well, actually the chest piece only provides tankiness, and number 2 and 4 provide a combo of attack and some tankiness. So yeah, that's really what I recommend. Like the damage oriented ones, for example, are not going to be good to upgrade for your tanks. Like here we already have it upgraded, but it's hardly going to give any boost to your tankiness, a little bit of HP, and your weapon gives nothing. It's just about damage. And for most places, you're not going to need the damage on your tanks, and so that's something that you can just pass on if you want to. And then when you recycle equipment, it's at a real discount how much, like for example, to craft these right now is 31. Recycling 3 pieces of equipment only gave us 6 each. So it's basically like 1/5 of the cost to craft it, or maybe even 1/4 of the cost to craft the equipment that you'll be getting back when you recycle it. And that's why you can't always just craft everything and recycle and expect to have all of your resources back. You're going to lose out on a lot of resources if you do that. So that's kind of the thing. Now, honestly, min-maxing this stuff doesn't matter too much, but really like I mentioned, like this tankiness for the supports is pretty valuable. I mean, the attack and damage from supports probably doesn't make much of a difference. Mainly only on Smokey would that make a difference, and honestly Smokey hits hard enough to kill everyone if you can get his blue aura off. So I would just really consider about tankiness for the supports, and these are just minor upgrades. So and also, I don't know, it seems like in this season the value of equipment at later upgrades, it's not so, like, it's not such a huge upgrade. Like when you're looking at this is 20 level upgrade of equipment, only 16 million bonus health, which is as a percentage of whatever our starting is under 10% of the health. And it's not even 10% of the hero stats, because if we take a look at the hero stats, for example, like my tank like Thorn, let's take a look at how much health he has. So you would be gaining 16 million health on him, right? And his health is 2.6 billion. 16 million is practically nothing. It will hardly do anything for him. So I don't think it would even help you in AFK stages to upgrade like even 20 levels of the equipment. So really a safe rule of thumb is probably just 30 levels below, then you upgrade. So I'll probably wait until I get to 750 average resonance level, which will be later in the day, and then I'll just upgrade most of my equipment to 750, and then I'll stop there until I get it like to 770 or 780, and then just keep going like that. And that's a pretty safe strategy. You'll never run out of stuff. Maybe you could even be more aggressive with it, honestly, because we're getting all of these rewards. Like if we claim that, I don't know, like in the next stage will we be gaining more of these or not. But yeah, we could, I guess, be more aggressive and upgrade even the 20 level behind equipment like I mentioned. Or at least for like the marksman, you can go for the damage oriented things like the boots and the weapon. But you have to consider where will you be using these heroes. Like Iron for AFK stages, his damage doesn't matter. His tankiness does matter, so we can go for that. But a lot of AFK stages also is the RNG. Like if you do enough runs, you're gonna end up, like, whether you have 20 levels higher equipment or not, you're going to be able to clear it or not based on whatever your resonating level is, just based on RNG. So the RNG kind of matters more than actually your of 20 or 30 levels higher of your equipment. Okay, but hopefully this was kind of like a decent guide of how I go about upgrading things. Basically, as you can tell, I've pretty much upgraded almost everything that was 20 levels behind, other than the ones which I think are not going to benefit me that much. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful, and good luck with your equipment foraging and crafting. And the useful thing about all of this is the fact that our level cap, or our soft level cap for the season is 800 on our heroes for Dream Realm and Supreme Arena, and the equipment level cap is 800 as well. So after that, there's not going to be any need of foraging anything. So yeah, like, the end is in sight. Probably by the time the Primal Lord comes out, or like towards the end of the Primal Lord, some people will even reach the level 800 for that level, the cap of their equipment. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. That is going to be it for this video. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.